Peace. What's the Science Universal family? On another glorious day of the science of living mathematics. And what is today's mathematics? Which is equality for the sixth day of the month. As in your supreme mathematics. What is the sixth letter in your alphabet? That is F. F in the supreme alphabet stands for father. All right, which is very important, which we tend to ignore because in this society we tend to focus a lot on mothers. So I want to build about that. All right, so yesterday on my physical degree, the fifth letter in the alphabet was E. E in the supreme alphabet is equality. So this is where it can be a little bit confusing to some, the uninitiated. Right, so what is equality? Equality is balance. It is how you deal with others during social interactions. It is the type what I call you and your friend that get along very well. One day you don't have it and they pay for it, lunch or whatever it is, and then the next time they don't have it and you pay, and it's not like, whoa, because last time I paid for you, you should pay for me, nothing like that. It's just dealing with each other in a manner that you would want to treat yourself or want others to treat you. It is the checks and balances per se when you're dealing with yourself. You know what I mean? What is the emotional quality of your interaction, right? Because that can go a long way, right? And notice how yesterday I was talking about, coming in a cold or warm current, and your equality of your emotion when, let's say, a friend or family is expressing something that is dear to them or something like that. And you're like, oh my God, oh wow, that's so bad. And you just give the generic answers. It's almost like it's automated. It's boom, boom, or they say this, you do that. You know what I mean? And that's why with me, I don't like certain conversations where it's just like the same old. When I ask, hey, how you doing and all that's because I actually care. I'm actually genuinely interested in what's going on in your life, and just willing the best for you. And it's like, oh no, I just see you, busy with the kids, working hard, like that's regular answers. So the science of equality, it is the realm also where all things are equal. Everything you could think of, all concepts are equal here. They all held up in equal measure. No one is greater than the other. No good task or no bad task holds more than the other. And this is where things could get tricky because everything is, you see it for what they are relative to you, and you can get lost in this mist. When water evaporates, it goes to roughly around 6 miles up in the Earth's atmosphere. So if you picture this is where the clouds are, and this is where you can't see in front of you. This is this mist of blindness per se, right? And you have to be able to deduce what's what, deal with it in an equal measure. When you are performing a task, deal with it with the same energy that you would as something else. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is effort, right? Is equivalent to like asking your children to bring you A's, right? Nothing but A's. What if the best that your child can do is a B minus at 100% effort? Would you accept that? I know I would. Now, if it's a B minus with, let's say, a D plus effort, no, I would not accept it. All I always cared about is the effort that you put into things, the quality of where you put yourself in, your time and energy. And this is important. Right? And this is what I've done as a father. Again, the sixth letter in the alphabet, F, for father. And this is how I deal with that equality with my son, that emotional quality is, I'm firm when I need to be firm, and I'm a jokester most of the time. I'm always playing around with him, and it's not like when we go out, it's not, because I'm your father, stand next to me because I'm your father. It's just like, just regular stuff. Somebody that hopefully, he enjoys being around. It's not like, damn, I gotta go out with my dad or something like that. And I think this is a quality that us fathers bring, is a different perspective that is sorely needed. We're taught, and a lot of us grew up in a home without our fathers for whatever reasons. There's many different reasons out there. When I got older as an adult, I saw that a lot of these kids didn't grow up with their fathers because mom was making it difficult. Whether you guys break up or anything like that, you shouldn't have to use your children as leverage. And just as a mother is important to their child, or is important to the child, so is the father, because it takes two, right? And if father wants to be a part of that child's life, then you should let the father be a part of that child's life. Got nothing to do with you. Your path's ended, and let that be. And it's all about that extra emotional quality that the father brings in, that is needed from a father's perspective. And I don't care what you say, what anybody says, whether the mom has to play, double time, triple time, whatever that is. You will never play the role of a father, period. And same thing of a single father. A single father will never play the role of a mom. And if you think that fathers are not nurturing, that we don't care, then you haven't figured it out. You don't fully understand that. And for men who think that women's role is only to cook, clean, and just deal with nurturing, and they're not strong, they can't protect or anything like that, then you have it wrong as well. Because that's not what it is. We all have our own areas of expertise. Design denotes function. Yes, it does. But what are you basing on those views? Right? All my life as a father, well, not all my life. Since my son was born, when he was younger and I would go pick up his report card, I was looked at like I was only there because mom couldn't make it. And I was there because I wanted to go. I was like, I'm going to go. What time is it? So I can go and get his report card and stuff like that. Because I was invested in my child's life, or when I would go to his recitals or whatever, they were doing a play or something like that. Obviously, I'm trying to sit up in the front row so my son can see me. And you know how kids are and stuff like that. They're like this, all kind of nervous, and then all of a sudden they see you and all the shit that they're doing becomes amazing, and just being able to watch that, because that's how I was when I was younger. Yeah, at the time my dad was always working, so my mom was the one I was able to come. So just being able to see my mom, I remember my moves were, I was crazy with it as soon as I saw my mom, and just being able to see that. And I noticed at the end, the teacher will come up to me, and I was like, oh, thank you so much for coming. Oh my God, I really appreciate it. But she wouldn't do that to none of the other moms that were there. I was like, well, like me and two other guys, other fathers that were there. I know what I was there. I was there because I wanted to see what my son got. I wanted to see him perform. And being able to provide that equality is what has allowed my son and I, now at knowledge born years old, 19 years old, for us to have a good relationship. We can go, it's like, yo, I want to go get something to eat. I want to go get some ice cream. Come with me. And we could just joke around. It's not always just like, oh, that's my dad. I gotta, how is he going to be? Or how some kids are that they know the father's not fully invested in them. So they only utilize them when they need something. You know what I mean? And I strive to instill in my son the same principles that I live by, and teach him why. Now this is what you're gonna do because this is what I want for you. But for him to understand, this is why I do the things that I do, and that's how I share my equality with my son. You know what I mean? And I also pass that on to my nieces and my nephews whenever they're around me. I always just build with them, just like this is what you need to do. Take this path, don't take this path. If you're gonna take this path, make sure you blah blah blah. And I think this is something that many fathers go through, and we tend to just kind of give up because it's like, what else can we do? You know what I mean? And that is very disheartening for us, but I fought a good fight and I didn't give up. It was hard. There was many times I wanted to just give up, but I was also like, no, because all I kept looking at was my son at this age. How is it gonna be me coming into his life now? And depending on your situations and circumstances, there could be many things that could happen in between where you couldn't have that time with your children, and that's okay. But what matters is that the moment that you come to that realization, the moment that you are able to be a part of your child's life and deal with equality with your children, and until the next part is just talking about, let's say, just dealing with the equality with your friends and stuff like that. The type of person that never, never puts in. And I know what I'm talking about. That never puts in, and it's always about themselves. They put in, it's very, very minimal, right? But when you're putting in, you share your equality, everything is there, and they gobble that shit up, and you notice their equality is not the same. So therefore, it's not equal in quality. So therefore, you have to decide, is this a person that I want to be able to keep being around? You have to think about that for a second. You have to be able to make these choices as an adult, for sure, and for you young brothers and sisters out there, you might think that in high school these are the friends you're gonna have forever, and there's some like at my age there's still a lot of friends I have from high school that I know and I'm in contact with, but it's not like they're gonna be hanging out just like in high school. But things happen, people move, end up having kids and stuff like that. There's certain situations that happen, and this equality where you lose friends can disrupt the whole reality. You put yourself in this, I just gotta make my money in that shit, and all of a sudden it's like you lose this light. The light in the eyes just goes away, and it can be very sad per se, so looking at this growth through equality, of never falling victim, or in the sense of staying within this mist of where everything is equal. You have to be able to, it's there for you, so that way you can judge everything fairly. The judgment of these things is fair. You can't just be like, whoa, my mom said this is bad, so I'm just going to treat it as bad. But is it really? Or is it based on perspectives, based on your biases and stuff like that? Unconscious bias. And I keep talking about this because we have to be able to look at everything. When there's like two sides to a story, and your kid comes home, it's like, oh, I got in a fight because this kid punched me. It's like, why did it happen? What did you do? Did you do something? And then there's always two sides to a story that you have to be able to look at equal measure. You can't be biased. And one of the things, I think one of my pet peeves is when you have these parents that swear that their kids can do no wrong, and these kids are like the worst. They're the ones that do everything, and in front of their mom, it wasn't me. The mom is always defending, the dad is always defending, and it's just like, yo, this was your kid that did that. The video was there. It's like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. It's not good, because what is that you're teaching? You're teaching your kids to have an improper view of what equality is, you know, and they grow up with the wrong values. And if your emotional quality or your way of dealing with things equally is skewed, what does that do for you as a person, or for your child when they get older? You know, you're only looking at it for something that's within 5 minutes right now, but you got to look at this decades from now. What's the type of person they're going to be? How they're going to treat others? You know, how are they going to be with their children? You know, you have to be able to look beyond the now to see how this happens, how this equality, and this is why equality is important. This is why many times you got a lot of people that are closer to their friends than they are with their own family members. Because again, just like with me, I come from a big family, and there's a lot of gossiping stuff that happens, you know. And I know a lot of my cousins have friends that they grew up with, and they're closer with their friends than they are, let's say, with the family. And that's okay, because again, you've gone through more struggles with these friends that you share an emotional quality with. And the vibe, right? You know, the vibe is the same when you're dealing with that. You don't have to deal with the gossiping or anything like that. So there's more trust. You can open yourself up a little bit more with this friend of yours, this acquaintance or whatever it is, you know, because the qualities is there. You know, how many times you're dealing with families, you know, and they want to charge for this, they want to charge for that. You know, starting a business, and they was like, oh, let me get this for free, let me get a family discount. But it's always those outside of the family circle, the ones that, how much is it? Yo, here's an extra 10, here's that. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing, I like your idea. You know, this is my way of helping you grow. You know, and it all depends on the quality. And then you do have some family members that are there, you know, using true equality through that. So today's decree, what I want you guys to look at is your equality and how you deal with others. Really think about it. And if you're the type who's like, man, I don't care what they say, this is how I am, and they got to deal with it, or now they can find some other friends, then you got it all wrong. Eventually you're going to be by yourself, right? And we're social beings. I don't care how much of an introvert you think you are, because I know I like to be by myself a lot. I like a lot of my own time, you know, but I do enjoy the companies of others, and that's a good thing, you know, especially when you find those that resonate with the same energy as you, you know. So check this video out, you know. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, please like, and show others about this, you know. Show others about these videos, and let me know in the comments what you guys think, you know. Add on, please add on, don't just listen. I would like to hear what you guys have to say, because this is what it's about. It's about me sharing in the hopes that you guys can take something from it, whatever that is, and you guys share as well, so that way we can both learn. You know, I'm here because I want to learn as well. My path is to keep gaining knowledge, and if you guys can provide that as well, then I love you for that. So with that, enjoy the rest of the day on another glorious day of the science of living mathematics. Peace.